Boxery. So, what do we talk about? Nothing. I got nothing left to talk about. I've shared my experience about casting for nationals. I've explained why I'm building a puffin deck. I've explained what the next tournament, the next big tournament I'll probably join will be. So what can we talk about? ELO. So I'm not really much in the loop, but people have told me that LSS is dropping ELO. Meaning that ELO will no longer be used starting 2026. Why? Because ELO has its own problems. So I guess we can talk about that. What are ELO's problems? And why, despite its problems, it was still a better system than XP. Okay? So, I said this before, when they decided to shift the qualifications for nationals from XP to ELO. I said that even though I know I'll most likely never be able to compete in another nationals again when they shift it to ELO, which is true enough, ever since their shift, I've never qualified for nationals again. I still think it's a better choice. Why? Because ELO is a better representation of the skill of the player. So we don't want to have nationals in where you've got a bunch of players that are not skilled playing against players who are extremely skilled. Because you're gonna see, especially if you're trying, especially now, like as a commentator, after doing casting for Fab games, it's terrible optics. It's terrible to watch. It's not fun for the players involved. It's not fun for the newbie that's getting his ass whooped by the veteran, the highly decorated veteran. It's not fun for the veteran because it just feels like a stomp and you don't get to play your game. And it's terrible for viewership. Give no quarter. Okay. Alright. I think this should go up here. That goes up there. This goes down here. Okay. So yeah, it just looks terrible. So at least with ELO, you more or less get a better filter of the quality of players. Likewise, it's also harder to abuse in the sense that before, since XP could be gained even in just on-demand events, all you'd have to do is host, and practically anybody can do on-demand events. All you'd have to do is host a crap ton of it every day, and you'd be able to grind out your XP. Now, the drawbacks of removing it from XP was felt mostly by the local game stores or local game shops, LGSs basically. The bad effect was that because there's no longer a need for people to grind XP. When it comes to national season, before, when it was still XP, when national season was coming around, the local game shops exploded in attendance for their armories. Why? Because people wanted to be able to grind their XP so they can participate in nationals. Which was a good effect because the game stores got more profit in, you got more foot traffic in, so you get more people buying product, moving product around, joining armories, etc. So that was the bad side effect. But the good side effect of having ELO is you did have a more filtered attendance going into nationals. Now, ELO itself, however, does have a problem. Mainly, the problem of ELO camping. So what's ELO camping? Basically, since ELO does not decay, meaning that your ELO, whatever your ELO ranking is right now, is permanent until such time that you play a ranked game and you either win or lose. So you either gain or lose ELO. So the problem with that is that people who already have high ELO that are guaranteed to qualify for nationals simply just don't can choose to simply not play rated events until nearing nationals, in where they are required to play at least 5 rounds of a rated game to qualify. But that's easy. That's 5 rounds. It's like one big tournament or 2 road to nationals. It's easy to do. And even then, the amount, unless they like fight against a prodigy or who's just a new player, and they manage to score a win, it won't matter. The ELO loss won't matter at all. So there's no real incentive. Oops, wait, what did I do? Oops, I put it in the wrong pile. There. The loss of ELO doesn't really impact them. They can still do the same thing and qualify for nationals again next year. So that's the drawback of non-decaying ELO, which is ELO camping. And even then, the guarantee of like no new players or only the best players manage to join nationals doesn't always apply, especially if your community is continuously growing. Why? That's because new players start out with a default of 1,500 ELO. Oh, another escalate bloodshed. If a new player manages to win enough games in an RTN, not necessarily even hit top 4 in any of them, you could just have won several rated games in RTN against your fellow new players who also have 1,500 ELO. You could theoretically get enough ELO to join nationals. So it's a little bit more filtered in the sense that at least these players are winning against other players, so their skill level must be better. But it's not unthinkable that you will have some players in nationals who are not as, I wouldn't say qualified, it's the proper term, who might not be able to offer the same level of competition to the rest of the field. So yeah, ELO has its own drawbacks. So the next question now would be, if ELO will no longer be used for determining the qualifications for nationals outside of hitting top 4 on an RTN, what would they use? We don't know. I'm interested to know, because it would be, it could make or break the the competitive integrity of nationals. I'm still pretty sure I'm not gonna qualify for Nats ever again, but maybe with this new system, who knows? Maybe a guy can dream. Because the reason I could never qualify was because before, when ELO was not really used for anything but the highest levels of tournaments, such as ProQuest or Worlds, I wasn't hopeful of reaching that level. I mean, it's not impossible, but I was realistic about it. So I joined rated tournaments even if I did poorly. Oh, that's the other bad thing about ELO. It encourages people to X2 drop. What does X2 drop mean? X2 drop means if you're joining a tournament and you've had 2 losses and you're nowhere near the top 8, the top tables when you've taken your 2 losses, you just drop. You drop from the tournament. Why? In a rated tournament, at least. Why? Because your chances of getting to top 8 is practically 0. Oh, okay, it's a Marvel. It's a Marvel Barnacle. Marvel Barnacle. Hang on, let me get... Oh, it's here. So where was I? Right. So, in my case, since I knew that I wasn't... Oops, sorry again. I knew I wasn't going to be qualifying for those high-stakes tournament. Oh, wait. X2 drop. Why do you drop after X2? To preserve ELO, basically. Because your chances of getting to the top 8 are very slim. And every loss, theoretically, you have a chance of getting your ELO back. But the way that ELO works is, when you're fighting players below your level, with ELO lower than you, if you win, you barely get any ELO. If they win, they take a chunk of your ELO. So what's the incentive of risking your ELO to new players if you can just drop and not lose ELO afterwards? Since you're not going to make it to top 8 anyway, what's the point? So that's the other drawback of ELO. It encourages X2 drops. And I'll be honest, I've done it. Especially when my ELO started dipping below 1,500, I did it practically religiously. I just X2 drop. Every time I'd hit X2 and my chances of hitting top 8 is very slim, I just drop. I wouldn't even continue. And that just feels bad. Because then you start getting people who get paired up in a bye situation. Meaning that they don't have any opponents. So for the new players, that's less practice, less repetitions on a face-to-face in a high-stakes tournament. So overall, it's just a bad feeling. But the ELO system encourages it. Because, why would I risk my ELO and possibly risk not qualifying for big events if I can just drop? So, yes. Where was I? So, halfway through this box. So, yeah. So, I'm curious to see what the next ELO will be. I mean, it's possible that the next system will allow me to qualify for nationals, but I'm not holding my breath on that. Let's see if we can get any more hits here. Still no legendaries, and we're on our 3rd box already. We did get 2 Marvels though, so that's pretty good. Oops. So what else can we talk about? Especially since we still have a fourth box to crack. And I'm running out of things to talk about. Well, we don't have enough data for the other things, for the upcoming expansion to talk about that. Guardian Mastery Pack is coming in. What else? What else? What else? I'm looking forward to the next Blitz skirmish season, because my Dromai Blitz deck is still pretty much viable and on fire. I've been playing it on Talishar, and it has a high pop-off potential. If I manage to get the right cards, I can flood the board. My only problem is Brutes. That's the only matchup that I'm really useless against. I can't fight Brutes. Oh wait, I made a mistake again in this one. Sorry, hold on, sorting. Okay. How's my battery looking? Oops. Oh, I'm at 5%. Okay, hold on. I'll probably need to charge. Hold on, please. Oh, okay, here. This should charge it. There we go. Okay, back. We're back. We're charging. We're back. Return fire. Okay. Just take. And more RFC legs. Look at that. Just look at that. So I still have one more box to crack after this. I'll tell you, my back is killing me right now. Oh! There is another story that I could tell. The story of how my heart broke and sank in Nationals. Not because of the players. No. This was because when I opened my deck to land Kevin, another member of Achromatic Pitch, Shelter from the Storm, in order for his deck for Nationals, I found in my deck box my Heart of Yendal slightly bent. I'm trying to recover it, fix the bend. I've put it through the silica gel treatment to try to get it to demoisturize and curl the opposite direction. But so far, and now I'm keeping it compressed in a book, hoping that it will straighten out. But my heart sank, because I paid good money for that. I paid good money for that card, and it served my Teklovosen deck really well. It got me through a lot of good games in tournaments, and it's RF, so it's not CF, so that's a silver lining, but still, it cost a lot, and its value probably dropped significantly because of that. spend. And all because I didn't put it back in the deck box properly. Hacha! Crack bubble. Them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. I'm also saddened that since... Oh... Moray Lafay. Another ally. I am also saddened by the fact that I'm also saddened by the fact that I now have an entire page in my binder for Mistvale Majestics that I will probably never be able to sell again until they release more Mystic heroes. Because every Mistvale hero has hit Living Legend. Already, so those cards totally useless. I doubt that people will buy it for the Living Legend format unless they start making the Living Legend format a bit more competitive, which I doubt, because LL format is not meant to be competitive. It's meant to be fun and casual, because that's where every broken thing is. So yeah, bought a box of Mistvale and reverse stonks. But them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. I'm getting hungry. I still need to crack a box. Another box, and then crack the treasure packs. Okay, I'm getting deflated, almost out of energy, but we'll get through it. We still have one more box. We'll get through it. I also realized that my recording is actually in portrait mode, not landscape mode. I have to fix that in the editing software. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. I also need to adjust the volume because the mic is probably right in front of my face, so if I don't, I'd be yelling at you guys, and nobody likes to be yelled at. Okay. Ha! Another undercover acquisition. This is the last pack. No legendaries. Majestic. Tip the barkeep. Pirate action. Alright, so that's about it for this box. Let's see our hits, shall we? So we got ourselves a Marvel Barnacle. Woohoo! Probably sell that. We got an RFC legs. And then for the Majestics, we got a Tip the Barkeep, Undercover Acquisition, Moray Lafay, Return Fire, Escalate Bloodshed, and Give No Quarter. So far, those are our hits. I forgot to say like and subscribe at the start. So if you managed to get it this far, please like and subscribe. Bye. Fourth box coming.